Welcome back to the Old Colony Cast. I am one of your hosts. See, I got better this time. I'm getting, got to get in the groove. Andy, joined by co-host Hanna.
Hello.
What's up, Hanna?
Yep.
And joined by our elven brother, Fish.
If I knew any Elvish.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
It would be.
And by cool, I mean not really cool.
It would be incredibly nice,
but it would have been awesome.
It would be my brand of lame.
Yeah.
Also, this is a podcast about all things Plymouth and the surrounding area.
Yeah.
That's also true.
Yeah, because you were so excited to call yourself a host, you kind of skipped
Listen,
that.
I didn't say I was good at this job. We were only, 600-700 episodes collectively in?
Yeah, someday, pick up the basics.
Yeah.
Today's not that day.
No. So, again, I mean, we just recorded an episode. I don't mean to pull back the curtain, but I still have no updates from anything going on.
Yeah.
I feel like we didn't do that every episode. I feel like we did, but we didn't.
No, it was
Just on the occasion.
We did when we had something.
Yeah. I just feel like it's been so long since we did it regularly that we should have updates. But
Yeah.
yeah.
There's nothing happening. Really.
It's been so long that we've forgotten everything that we did.
Pretty much. That's true. That's very true.
All right, so let's just push
Let's-
forward.
Yeah. All right. You don't want to just like chit chat about what we think? Fine. Fine.
No, let's,
So save us, Hannah. What are we talking about today?
So funny that Fish looked up goody two shoes in the last episode.
Oh no, is this like a foreshadowing?
It was a foreshadowing.
We're so good at our jobs.
But also talking about the possibility of wicked people was kind of foreshadowing.
Okay. Well, it's
Sorry.
New England. We're all wicked. See what I did
the
there?
accent.
We're doing, not the accent, but like
Oh, we're doing the phrases?
Yeah, colloquialisms.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
So I think that's right. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. But,
Slang. It's pronounced
Yes.
slang.
and you wonder why I can't spell.
No, I don't.
Slang doesn't start with a C.
Are you sure about that?
I am not.
So, you guys might be able to think
Use
of some-
guys.
Yeah, might be able to think of some while we're doing this. Interrupt me
Okay.
if you have one. I don't mind skipping around.
I feel like now that we have permission, it's
I
not as
have-
much fun.
I have very few notes on things
She's good at
because
this.
there wasn't. Some of them are so easy to know where they came from,
And some are not.
some are not.
Mhm.
And Wicked is one of them.
Okay.
Yes, but which one of them is it?
I feel like it's not
It's
easy.
not easy.
So
So there
it was
isn't-
wicked hard to find out.
Yes. So there is no like they can't find a historical beginning of it. They think like that it started from something. Let me see. Boston Magazine had a pretty good explanation of it. It's an old practice of crediting an intense quality to a curse or supernatural force.
Okay.
So when you think about it like that, using it in the place of very
Oh,
really-
so like almost like the term like, oh, that's bad.
yeah, but
It's
that's
wicked.
good
Yeah.
because like the quality of that good is so strong,
It's so
Okay.
good it must be the devil's fault.
Yes.
right? So, which that kind of
Yeah.
Follows.
yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But I always question that because I don't feel like I say wicked a lot. I mean, I don't know if I do because I don't tend to listen to myself, but I don't feel like anyone I know uses it a lot.
I use it every day.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
You use it. I'm sure you do. I've heard you say it.
I'm probably.
Yeah.
it's such a
Well, it's one of those like
We don't hear it.
when I swear, I don't know, like I don't hear it.
We don't hear
no.
Yeah.
it. We do not hear ourselves using it even a little bit.
Yeah.
Everyone says it all day long.
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
thing where I can't imagine like if you're from
Boise, Idaho.
yeah, you come in here and it would just be a constant
Wicked this, wicked that.
yeah, and you have no and it's like you know it because it's
Yeah.
like the Boston slang word, but or one of them.
Right.
But yeah, I can't imagine dealing with it when you're not.
I don't know what the title of this episode is going to be, but I feel like people outside the state are going to have to like run it through Google Translate to figure out what the title of this episode means.
I've got a couple ideas in my head.
Okay.
We'll see how
Alright.
the episode goes.
Okay.
So, I mean, we could talk about Wicked all day long. It sounds silly to people who are from here to, like, say how we use it in a sentence, but, like, for people...
It's like an adjective.
It's very.
Yeah. But for people out of state,
It's like very, very.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very.
It's very,
True.
very.
It's like
Not
extra
just-
very.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very-er. That hurts my soul to say
Yeah.
that like that. I'm never doing that again. That's wrong.
Wicked cool,
Wicked awesome.
wicked smart, wicked whatever.
Yeah, see, now I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay. I see
Yeah.
that. I just feel like, I see Saturday Night Live
Wicked
skits and you'd be
fast.
like, yeah. It was wicked fa.
Yeah. It's in the exaggeration makes you feel like you might not say it.
Right.
Like you say it.
Yeah,
We all
you
say
say
it.
it's the parody is not far enough from home for us not to land.
Yeah. There's a rumor that it came from Salem.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Because that's like a
there's-
wicked, wicked place.
There's no history of actually like that's based on though. Like
Yeah.
they can't, but they can't really figure out when it started.
Because it's probably one of those things where it was local slang, which means it did not get written down for a very long time
Yeah.
because
It was slang.
yeah, and unless you run into one of those weirdos who writes a dictionary of slang, you're not seeing it.
Yeah.
God
So
bless those weirdos.
it's just a New England thing. I think it's a lot more Massachusetts based than anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a very Boston thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always that's like
Spread
part
out.
of the Boston accent, kind of.
Yeah.
I've met someone from out of state. They're from New York, which isn't that far, but he could not wrap his head around how to use it. It was like
Oh, really? Like you
my
try to
friend's,
use?
like stepdad or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, he was like, "That's wicked." We were like, "No, wicked what?"
Yeah.
Finish the sentence. He couldn't get it. He didn't understand it. He didn't know why we said that.
Oh, interesting.
One time, me and Donnie were hiking in Kentucky. There was a guy from Louisiana
Yeah.
that we met at the parking area. He gave us a map. We gave him some bug spray. Nice guy. We got going like on the hike way earlier than him, so by the time we were going back down, he was like, "How was it?" And I was like, "Oh, it was wicked cool." And then he was like, "Oh." And I was like, "Have a good day," and like left. And I was like, "Oh my god, what does he think he's about to walk into?"
The
Like,
mouth of hell itself.
you're like, yeah, I don't know.
But, in a fun way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he, but in a fun way. I was like, I wonder what he thinks I just told him, because he probably doesn't.
It's so weird, like
Hear
how
that.
But at
like
the same time, it's so parodied that
you'd think he would know.
I don't know. This guy, I was like questioning if he even had TV.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah.
oh, he was that kind of guy.
He was Louisiana.
He was backwoodsy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just thought that was funny. I was like, I shouldn't use that word around here. People won't know what I'm talking about. That's the vote on Wicked, though. I do get putting it in the terms of a curse or supernatural force. Like that
Makes sense, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Some other things we've talked about, mentioned. One thing I really like to talk about because I'm proud of it is the bubbler.
The bubbler.
The
Bubble
bubbler.
it, yeah.
So
I know we've talked about it now. I can't even.
because
Is it a brand name?
so it's a patent for that design. So it is the name.
Yeah.
But the brand is Kohler.
Okay.
It was invented by Harlan.
And we're talking about
Huckabee.
a water fountain.
Yes.
Yeah, a drinking
A drinking water
So
fountain. Yeah.
I guess before then the design was like not that great and people didn't love them because they all shared a cup.
Ugh. I was just about to be like, who loves a water bubbler now? And then, oh, God.
So yeah, so
Wow, that's gross.
it was a long time ago because it was invented in 1888.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about, like, the bubblers that I've seen that I'm like, I'm not drinking out of that.
Yeah,
And then
no,
to
that
have a
one
cup attached to it and be like,
with
"Ugh."
like dingy, slightly dented,
Gum on it.
like stained along the rim with something you don't know what.
Oh, man, that's disgusting.
So
I just got the chills that you were talking about for the last one with the feather writing. That's so gross.
So everyone loved this new design, but because
Obviously.
because the old original design was already called the water fountain,
Yeah.
the bubbler was a name not regularly used, but we used it here.
Okay.
I think it's just that design name stuck.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It happens a lot. Yeah,
with,
like my grandmother used to refer. My grandmother's from.
Windex.
No, she was from Pennsylvania, and she would always tell us, get your shoes off the Davenport. Don't jump on the Davenport.
Yeah.
And like as a little kid, I'm like, I don't even understand what she's saying. It was just the couch.
Oh.
Yeah,
Because the couch was a Davenport.
Yeah, but then it would also be like Kleenex and Xerox.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Hacky sack.
Yeah.
Yep.
Frisbee.
Frisbee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because those are all brand
Discs,
names
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
got
Heroin.
pretty- That's a little different.
Heroin. It's a copyright.
Or it
Yeah.
was.
It was. Sorry.
Yeah, heroin and aspirin were both copyrights by Bayer,
Yeah.
which, as it turns out, when you lose a world war, sometimes you lose your copyrights.
Oh wow.
Was Bear German?
Yeah, Bayer
Oh, I didn't
German
know that.
company. They
Yeah.
lost the copyrights to aspirin and heroin because Germany lost World War II.
Makes sense.
I think two. Might have been one, but I'm pretty sure it was two.
Okay. But they're not from here, so we're not talking about them.
No. Because we won World War II, dang it.
An area of Wisconsin also calls them bubblers.
Yes.
I've seen that on a map.
Wisconsin, if you remember, is also the state that took #1 spot for cranberry production.
Yes.
So they're obviously connected.
It's something.
Yes, they actually are connected. A lot of the people who originally immigrated to and settled Wisconsin
Yeah.
came from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Oh,
So a
yeah.
lot of the local slang and not the accent, but a lot of the local slang and terminology, it's the same, basically the same people using it. They just lived
Yeah.
out there now.
So there is there was something else I ran into the other day that was also, it was like Wisconsin and Massachusetts, and I was like, why does this keep happening?
Interesting.
Yeah, that's why. It's,
Did not know that.
yeah.
Other one that's pretty popular. I don't know if I've ever said it, but older people say it a lot when giving directions.
Okay. Bang a Yui?
Being,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta bang a Yui.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's not as common anymore, but
No,
definitely.
generally because there are very few UEs available for people, but also
I mean,
being a left
the
or being
point
a
of a Yui
Yeah,
is that it's
banging
not
anything.
necessarily.
Yeah.
Drive up and down Main Street. You see people banging Yuis in the middle of I always want to say North Street, in Main Street constantly, and I'm like, bro,
This street is not.
this is not a
built
street
for
you do that.
And that, I mean, I couldn't really find a lot on it, but I thought it was a notable term that we needed to talk
Yeah,
about.
and it's a U-turn.
They're banging lefts, banging rights. Someone just mentioned that. But
Yeah, like you'll.
Oh, I didn't even think of the
look it
term
up.
banging.
Yeah.
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 Like, it's just we don't drive safely.
Yeah. Which is true.
There's a little bit of.
It's fair.
Yeah, but there's a little bit of violence in it. A little bit in
Yeah.
if you're not driving a little angry, I worry.
Yeah. One I love is pocketbook.
Oh, I didn't know that was local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
So we say pocketbook.
Yeah.
It's from the pocket book,
Sure.
which is like an old style
That tracks completely. Yeah.
of
Purse.
purse.
Yeah.
But it's different from a purse because it was like the
It's-
literal.
Book of pockets.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So different from a handbag.
Handbag,
different-
yeah.
Yeah. It was its own thing called the pocketbook, and
then they just all became pocketbooks.
but we dropped like the T in it.
Pocketbook.
Pocket.
Well, we drop all sorts of
We
things.
dropped. Yeah. That's like when I try to say oat milk.
You just call it oat milk.
Oat milk.
Yeah.
I can't say the T. They're like, what? I'm like, oat milk.
My buddy was dating this girl from Chicago, and we're hanging out in my kitchen, and I'm talking about like hanging out with some friends and blah blah blah. And she's like, I didn't know you were a musician, and I'm like, what? And after like 5 minutes, I'm like, no, we were playing poker, not polka. Why would I be playing polka of all things?
You're sitting there with an accordion, and it's like someone else is just trying to raise, and you're very confused.
I tried to I say it was, I don't know, a long time ago, and I was like, oh, I want to go get some margaritas. And my friend was like, why do you randomly throw on a very heavy accent for just that word? And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, there's an R in there. And I was like, what?
Oh, you know? That's funny. Margaritas.
I had no idea.
That's funny.
No clue.
I feel like when I'm drinking, I get a much stronger
Yeah.
accent.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
And there are some words that just set it off.
Yeah.
Can't say it right. And
Four is definitely one that
And like-
Or, like, cheddar.
oh, yeah.
Cheddar, yeah.
Likewise, the shrub hydrangeas, I thought had an ER at the end, because why wouldn't they? When you live in New England.
It's a hydrangea.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because this is
See, I'm not dyslexic. It's just stupid.
this is how the accent works.
Spelling
And
is
we'll
dumb.
do a whole episode on the
Yeah.
Boston accent at some point. 'Cause
So
that's a rabbit hole I want to live in for a
this
while.
is also a sickness that takes over eventually. I think for everyone in this area is when you get to a certain age, you start adding S's onto things that don't need them.
Okay.
I feel like that might just be
Like what kind of example?
That's what I'm saying.
What do you mean?
Oh, I don't know.
like general old people, not like
Not
Yeah,
just
but
this
like what?
area.
Like what do you mean? I
like
don't.
the internets or
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Pluralizing things that don't,
That don't need to be plural.
yeah. And I just think
You just
that's-
made me think of ATM. When people say ATM machine,
Oh, yeah.
it drives me crazy.
A little different.
Yeah,
But,
I know. It just popped in my head.
let's see. Packy.
Packy.
You guys
Yeah.
remember the history of the Packy?
I do from our collaboration with Bartok.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's an interesting one because people I know have thought it was a racist thing.
Oh,
You haven't heard that?
no.
Where they're like, I can't believe you call it that, blah, blah. And you're like, why? It's the Packy.
Yeah.
They think we're referring to the person working there being
They think-
Pakistani.
Yeah, because that is a not great.
Yeah.
So it's the kind of thing where if you say it around here, you get it. If you go to school, say anywhere else, and you're
That's-
like,
So bold.
You're-
It's almost like, wow, do you think we're that bad?
Yeah.
like, I know we have a reputation in this area for
But
not,
like-
but like, wow, that's
and it's like, no, It's like, no, it's. And then
Yeah.
you have to explain the whole thing, and then you're stuck.
well. The problem is most people don't know why, and the only
it's
reason
just-
why I know why is because Hannah explained it to us on that episode
it's
of Bar
just-
Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where if you're not,
Which Hannah? Why did they call it that?
Do you not remember?
I do remember that, but
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
it's-
you got the
we're
notes.
saying,
I don't even have the notes.
Oh, so
I
like
just
coming out
remember-
of Prohibition, there
I
was
just
a
remember why,
a
yeah.
local ordinance law, whatever, that you could buy alcohol, but it had to be wrapped in brown paper
in a package.
in a package.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
a package store.
You have to buy secret booze.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And everyone coming out of the same building with the same package being like, ooh, look, secret booze.
What's so funny,
Because we can't actually say anything more than two syllables, package
Yeah.
store became packy.
Someone, I saw a post somewhere that something about Budweiser, and they were like, they should get the Clydesdales like running down here. It was something to the effect of like something being legal and sending the Budweiser Clydesdales down, and I was like, that they already did that. That's what they did.
Oh, like that's why there's Clydesdales related.
I don't
yeah.
even know. Like I was like, yeah,
they're
Budweiser did
literally-
that.
Yeah.
That was like the whole point of having the Clydesdales is that
They
They
pulled
rode-
the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it was just funny. They were like, they should do that in celebration of something. I don't know, but the person had no idea that it was already
Yeah.
a thing. Anyway,
Do you have nips on there?
I didn't have nips on there, but that's a good ad.
It is a good ad. So I just remember because this came from the same episode of Bar Talk. Go listen
Yeah.
to it. I don't remember what episode it is, but I believe at the time, like it came up, and we're like, "What does this come from?" And I believe our research department
Yeah.
looked it up, and it's Nippenkainen. Was that something like? It
Yeah,
was something
it's
along that.
It's a German
Yeah,
term.
because I don't know. I don't know why it came that.
Melting
But
pot.
it's
Yeah.
also one of those things that, like, up until that episode, I don't think I'd ever really thought about it, not about it being like a local.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just same
it's
thing.
like-
Like I just assumed that was
it's-
what. Yeah.
Well,
It's just how it is.
Yeah.
everyone else everywhere calls it airplane bottles
Or minis.
Or minis.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
like, It's like, no, they're nips. We sell them by the sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you buy them 10
Well,
at a time.
not anymore.
Not anymore. What?
They're slowly Massachusetts.
I know they're trying to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Wareham, and they're not.
Oh,
sold
really?
Anymore. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then most of the Cape isn't either.
Yeah.
But how will people drink in parking lots?
They just get the next size up.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah.
I mean,
It all adds up to be the
Yeah.
same.
so then you're gonna have larger bottles laying around.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fewer of them, though.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Fewer or just drunker people?
Or drunker people.
Drunker people going into work at 3 a.m.
This one, since we just talked about a kind of country of origin from a word, this is what inspired this conversation was a frap.
A frap. Oh, okay.
We talked about fraps and why they were called fraps.
Did we? I
Yes.
don't remember this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did I don't know if it was on air or just me and Hannah getting very. But I think, did we do a Friendlies episode?
We haven't yet.
Oh, no.
I think we
Peaceful
talked
Meadows
about.
episode.
Yeah.
You were talking about Peaceful Meadows.
Oh,
or something.
yeah. Why is it called frap? Because I don't remember this conversation.
They, again, one of those words they can't find the history of other than frappe. And a milkshake, we talked about the difference between a
Milkshake and a frap. Yeah.
And that they needed to differentiate that, and then we're just from Massachusetts, so we dropped the A part off
Yeah.
the end and just
We
made
just
it
dropped a
frap.
little.
We dropped a
accent
letter,
off.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not even the whole letter, literally just like the little accent off the E at the end of frap.
And they believe it's just from French Canadian influence.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why the
Yeah.
name.
Frappe,
Yeah.
meaning mixed.
And then
Yeah.
I believe it actually French Canadian influence started on the northern borders, so New Hampshire, Maine,
Yeah.
Vermont,
Yeah.
and floated down this way.
Okay.
So we were kind of like last in the mix for fraps.
Staying in the same family, I thought you were going to make reference to something that was also thought to be racist. It's Jimmy's.
Jimmy's, yes.
And not racist.
No, I remember the explanation.
I've heard two. I've heard Jimmy was the person. I've heard two.
Because they thought it was in reference to Jim Crow laws.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I've heard Jimmy was the guy who came up with the idea.
Yeah.
But I also heard, which I find more believable, is that Friendlies used to make a donation anytime you had Jimmy's or chocolate sprinkles.
Yeah.
Anytime you added chocolate sprinkles, they made a donation to the Jimmy Fund.
Yeah.
So it became, I'll take
yeah,
Jimmy's.
Yeah.
Which made a lot of sense.
That does. A couple other things. Townie, that's easy.
Townie.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole in town thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in town is Boston.
In town, on Cape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just town. Like, my first high school girlfriend went to college, and she said, like, blah, blah, yeah, I used to live in town. And they're like, we thought you lived in Boston. And she's like, I did. I just said I lived in town. And, like, her roommates were like, what are you talking about? And she's like, in town, in Boston. They're like, Boston's a city. And she's like, yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, but it's in town.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason.
I don't know why everyone calls it that, but...
But I mean, even there's a
Yeah.
reason the movie that came out like
The
probably
Town,
10
yeah.
years ago now is
Yeah.
called The Town.
Yeah, no, I get it, but other people don't. It's
Right.
weird. People don't talk, Massachusetts outside of Massachusetts.
I should have mentioned this in our driving directives, but Rotary,
Yep,
it's not called that like
No.
anywhere else.
it's a roundabout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So annoying.
What rotaries?
Yeah. No, I
No,
Or just
I
the
think
term.
in general roundabouts are
Roundabout.
annoying. Yeah.
I like Rotary.
Do other places have the Rotary Club? Is that,
Yeah, I could.
or is they the Roundabout Club?
Yeah, I don't know. But
Interesting.
yeah, just one little.
The Rotary Club is a global network, so
Yeah, I was
yeah.
So it must not be related to that then.
But maybe it is.
Maybe.
Which
Maybe
is
we just so happen to have Rotary
Well, no,
clubs
'cause
on the
they're-
around all of our.
All the
Yeah, we're like, oh, it must be a Rotary.
Rotary.
I don't know.
It's from Chicago.
Chicago.
Another word that you just like I can't not say like that.
Yeah.
Couple other little like nuances to the way we talk that I didn't even think of until I was reading them.
Okay.
No sir is no sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had no clue.
We're very lazy speakers.
when we are saying no, we go, yeah, no.
Oh, is that a local thing?
I think it's more to this area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I hear that, and that's one of those things that just drives me. I don't think I do, but it drives me crazy.
I
Really-
do.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
no.
wait, what?
I'm saying, yes. This,
It's like I acknowledge you,
Yes.
and no.
Yeah, no means no. No, yeah means yes.
Yeah. Yes. And then there's, yeah,
Yes.
huh, yeah.
Yeah, and that means
Yeah.
yes, but you're being kind of sarcastic about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Huh, yeah. So,
And ma. Apparently, ma is very
yeah.
regional.
Ma.
Ma.
See, I never
I
ever
just
used
from.
that.
You never use ma? You're like,
Also-
excuse me, mother.
Honestly, she was mum.
Yeah,
Mom?
I have mom.
Like-
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mine was ma.
Full on British
Or ma.
mum.
Mine was just
So-
ma.
Do you guys, speaking of British, you're literally gonna just lead into like the whole.
We're professionals. This is what we do. We
Yeah.
set you up to hit it out of the park.
Generally not on purpose, but so help me.
Shut up.
So the reason.
Yeah, no, we do it on purpose.
The reason we are the way we are.
We don't have enough time on this show.
First of all, I'm not on a couch. We're not talking about no.
That's next door.
And also, the reason we are the way we are. Come on,
Yeah.
Hannah. If you're gonna do it right.
You're you're sounding a little Rhode Islandish when you do it.
That is the most hurtful thing I've ever heard.
Just telling you. And for people who don't know, some people from Rhode Island sound like they're from Long Island.
Yes.
She could have punched me in the face.
And there's a difference. There's a difference between coffee and coffee. 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 You hear it?
I don't drink either of those things. So I
Please don't get quieter when you
Yeah.
talk.
Because people like will try to do like a Boston accent
Oh.
and then
They do
use
the.
coffee as an example.
Well, there's,
And it's more of an ah sound and not oi.
and it's not just Rhode Island. It's like the Fall River, New Bedford area,
Yeah.
because they adopt like the Rhode Island. Use guys
Yeah.
is, oh my god, the people I used to work with. Use guys. Be like,
some of-
shut up.
Some of the older people from Fall River too say their phone numbers in a weird way. They do like 4 digits and then
Oh really? Oh, that's awful.
yeah.
I think I would murder a person if they
I
ever did that. That's just
I don't
like,
know
you're
why,
clearly
like-
Satan.
Out of everything we've talked about, that is one thing that just
That's
like
terrible.
I get
don't
so
get
tripped
that.
up.
Yeah.
I get so tripped up. Yeah, they do. Ba 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 ba. And you're
Really?
like, what? It just happened.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy.
I would find that so disconcerting.
Something like
That's
that.
not how they. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that's gone out of the wayside, but it is something
I
I've run
hope.
into
It
before.
needs
Yeah.
to be. It needs to be killed.
Oh my goodness. So the reason that we speak the way we speak is because like we are still like the influence from Great Britain is like so much heavier here still,
Yeah.
and like everything from like our weather, temperament, all of that is like so much more similar to there
Yeah,
than
New,
it is
New
to
England
like
is
California.
is surprisingly close to
Old England. Yeah.
Yeah. And so dropping our R's, they don't say R's really over there either.
Now, depends on the part, but yeah.
And then, I don't know, just like.
I feel like there's got to be so many more. I feel like we just
I know,
scratched
I
the
just
surface.
wanted to
Yeah.
like. Yeah, no,
Like
I
hit
just
the
want.
highlights.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing where I think part of it is that we use it all the time. Like it's just the language. So
Yeah.
we don't
It's
have that.
like Nip is a perfect example when it was just like that came to light. It was just like, oh my god, I can't.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like I was an adult, and like
Yeah.
you guys don't use that, and it's just so weird.
I know, there's so much more we could get into with it. It truly was just scratching the surface for it. But,
All right.
which means we
I
can do
was gonna say,
another
just-
episode. Do you have something else?
Diving through stuff like Cellar.
Yeah, but like there's some things. So there's carriage is on there. There's,
Oh,
like,
shopping carts, yeah.
Yeah. A couple other random things that Garbage or rubbish.
I don't know anyone that.
I don't know. I don't use it anymore, but I definitely used to say rubbish.
Yeah.
I always just say trash.
So there's so many of them that I interchange.
Yeah. And there's a
Quite a
few that
bit.
I never thought were accurate, like a sub.
Yeah.
I see a lot of times, they'll do those maps or whatever, and they'll
Yeah.
lump us in. I want to say like hoagies or grinders or something
Yeah,
like that.
it's
I'm
like-
like, no, it's just sub. Like
We're
I
on
don't.
the map where like Grinder was on there.
Yeah, I'm like, no one uses
I've
grinder.
never- no, and then you get to stuff like sneakers.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the country or a lot of the places, they're tennis shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
it's like
I don't feel they're that. If you went somewhere and said sneakers, they would still know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Like dungarees and jeans, and
Yeah.
there's certain things that are just like, yeah, that's. There might be a preference.
Slick.
Yeah, the other one that I thought was weird was like on that map that I'm like, was soda.
Yeah.
Because I think they put us in as tonic, and I'm like,
yeah, which means they were talking to like an 80-year-old.
Yeah.
It's so old school.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
grandparents called
Yeah.
it tonic,
Yeah.
if you're saying tonic now, you mean tonic water.
but yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's like if you say tonic and don't lead with the phrase gin and, I
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what you're.
I think there were too many that people interchange with other more common phrases.
Yeah.
That I
Yeah.
was like, well, I don't know. I think I still say rubbish, but I also say trash and I also say garbage. Whatever.
Yeah, I always say
Yeah.
It's all
trash.
the same.
Yeah, because it's just whatever. It's not like it's
Yeah.
the term. It's a word. It's
Yeah.
the same word that we use for anything, so it doesn't super.
It's not like even the shopping cart and carriage, because I use those interchangeably.
Yeah.
I think I say carriage a little bit more. I call Walter's stroller a carriage.
Yeah,
I,
that's
don't know what else
that's
to
what
call
I
it
yeah
most of the
that's what I would
time.
call them, carriages.
But like on their strollers, like that's
Yeah.
what they're
Yeah.
marketing
Yeah.
as, and I'm always like his carriage.
Yeah, I mean, carriage to me is anything
No,
like
and it
on
was
wheels that you
baby
push.
shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I know like there's other places that call them like trolleys, and other places call
Yeah.
them like something else.
I don't know why trolley of all things like that makes less sense to me than carriage.
Well,
And
because
it
we
shouldn't.
have trolleys. Well, we used to. Remember the trolley that used to go around Plymouth?
No,
What?
I think that was before. I've only been here.
It wasn't that long ago. I was a pedicab driver. And it was still around.
Oh! To me, it just looked like a bus that looked like.
Oh, is that
to me, a
fancy?
trolley has to be on tracks.
Yeah,
I
trolleys.
guess you're right.
Yeah, I'm like, that was just a
I'm
bus
like, what are you talking
shaped like a
about?
trolley.
That's just a bus with pretension.
Do you remember the hot dog that drove around town? Do you mean the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile?
Oh, damn it. No, you're right. I think trolleys technically have to be on a track.
Yeah.
I fell
All right.
for it.
I'm like, well, no, I don't. Why are you so angry?
Hannah bought the trolley bus hype.
I never went on it.
No, because why would you ever go on a tourist thing where you would have to like correct people?
I don't know. But the trolley that was in Plymouth. Oh god.
The bus. The
It's
trolley
fine.
bus.
It's late. It's fine. It's fine. It's late.
Was there anything else? Now I could talk about all the old tourist attractions of Plymouth that used to be here
Yeah.
that aren't. It's the next episode. Like we,
Oh,
we used to have an
5 hours long.
We used to have an amphibious.
The duck boats?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those.
Loved those.
I've never been on one, but
No, me either.
those seem like fun. Until you start hearing how much they sank, and then you're like, I mean, they're not that much fun.
Was there anything else? The McDonald's used to be downtown.
There used to be a McDonald's down there?
Yeah.
Wow. That I did not know.
Yep.
Where?
I feel like I'm getting directions from my mother.
In that parking lot, behind Maui Wowie, like where the 16.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where the Plymouth Bay Winery is?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if it was that exact building.
Yeah.
But it was like in there.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, my mother used to give you directions. Like, we would go down to visit family in Pennsylvania, and you'd show up, like, this is before GPS, like 2 hours late.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, those directions were terrible. Like, we couldn't find such and such a building. Oh, well, it's a Stop and Shop now.
Those
Yeah.
directions were fantastic.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was just like, well, how am I supposed to find my way with things that don't exist anymore?
I love that.
Yeah.
Was there anything else about?
I'm trying to.
And again, it's. Yeah,
I mean, there's so many, like, just terms like the hub.
Yeah, but
And,
does anyone call it the hub?
No one calls it Beantown.
No.
All right,
Yeah.
I've never met a self-respecting human being that lived in this area.
You don't have to not be self. You don't have to be self-respecting not to call it the hub.
Yeah.
Or the
The-
town. It's just town.
Yeah.
I've always called it Boston because I don't live there.
Oh no, but like if I was going in, I'd be like, "Oh, I'm going in town."
You're going into town.
No, I'd say I'm going to Boston.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I used to just say I'm going to town.
Because from being from Plymouth, where there's a downtown area.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah,
If you're
yeah.
going downtown, you're going to like the town's downtown.
Yeah,
You're going into town.
But when I worked with people from Boston and I'd say, "Oh, I'm going downtown," they're like, "Oh, are you going downtown?" I'm like, "Sorry, I mean the downtown of the area I live."
Yeah.
So it was just never adjusted. I'd just say Boston or the city. I'd say the city.
The Rock.
Yeah.
It's not Alcatraz.
Or Dwayne Johnson.
Yes, it is.
I know that's right because people call it Plymouth Rock or the
Plymouth Rock, yeah,
yeah.
My thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I forget already what my stand on that was. That was forever
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, we talk weird,
We do,
Yeah.
but don't we all?
pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's weird sayings around.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
Everyone's got like their weird pile of words that.
Do you think, is there any, so there's The Rock,
Yeah.
but is there another term that is like Plymouth centric, not Massachusetts centric?
The park is the skate park.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like that's a stretch.
And everyone's
The
got
graveyard is Burial Hill.
Burial Hill, that's,
like.
yeah.
But isn't that just its name?
Yeah.
No, the graveyard is Burial Hill.
Oh, you mean you say
The
if the
graveyard.
graveyard.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Burial
okay.
Hill. When you say I'm at the graveyard,
Yeah.
you're at Burial Hill.
Oh. Old 44.
Oh yeah, this whole thing
Yeah.
to you guys.
Yeah.
Remember when I was like, right, the one on 44, and I was
You're
like,
like,
wait, sorry, the old 44, and then I was like, wait, sorry, Samoset Street.
So there used to be a Route 44.
Yeah.
Then they changed it. And so people
Yeah.
refer to it as Old 44,
Yeah.
but there's no sign that says Old 44.
So you just
There's-
have to know which
what Old
brand-
44 is.
Yeah, so for the listeners who aren't local, Route 44 is now a highway that runs
Yeah.
basically from effectively Plymouth until Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And it is more or less a straight shot.
That was our Dunkin' Donuts episode. That's when I
Yeah.
did that. I was like, oh, the one that's 24 hours on 44, and you were like, no, because I like worked off that one. And I was like, sorry, no, the old 44. No,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
it's the street.
Yeah.
Right up the road.
around, what, 20 years ago? Roughly? 25?
Probably.
No, less, because I was
Yeah, less.
an adult. So, yeah, say in the last 15, 20 years, they basically extended the whole thing as a highway.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, you got till about, how far did you get down before it got real weird? Because it was a highway.
Like Middleborough?
Yeah,
Carver?
Middleborough.
Yeah, basically until you got to, it was a highway until you got
Yeah.
to Middleborough, and after Middleborough,
Yeah.
it was a bunch of back roads with a number on them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you were just driving through neighborhoods and
Yeah.
past like a
King
major
Richard's Fair.
golf course.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were basically just driving down back roads, and it was the only way to get to Plymouth.
Yeah.
And then
Which, for someone who does not live in Plymouth, it was not the most fun.
no,
And also,
I used to take 27.
there used
yeah,
to be
it's a lot longer.
there used to be
And I don't live on that side. I didn't live on that
a
side
more
of town.
convenient, like more convenient exit too off Route 3, the Cherry Street exit.
Yeah.
That would like dump you right onto Cherry Street. So not exit.
I mean, convenient to what?
convenient to
Convenient,
this.
Yeah.
Hannah.
It was so weird. And then like getting to the mall from my house when I lived in West Plymouth, I remember I would tell my parents to still go through the industrial park because that's how we used to have to go through.
Oh,
to
yeah,
get
yeah,
there
yeah.
before
Yeah.
Commerce Way was built.
Yeah.
And that was literally like all old pine barren, old growth forests that they demolished. You can't stop building there.
Oh, they put up a Walmart and a Taco Bell.
Yeah. They put everything up
And a
there.
Bertucci's. I mean, come on.
Everything is there. So yeah, I would still make them take the industrial park, and they were like, "But this road's so much faster."
Oh, just in like protest that the
Yeah.
road was there?
I'd be like,
That sounds like a
"Come
Hanna
on."
thing to do.
And then, when you did drive down it, though, and nothing was built yet, it was like literally just all trees, like the thickest forest. It was crazy.
And now it's not.
No, it really is nice to look at it. Anyway, that's what we got.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's the part where we stop talking funny. And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/Inebri-art to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at Inebri-art.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at Inebri-art or at Inebri-art6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, Bar Talk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebri-art, and all the other shows on the Inebri-art Network, which you can find at Inebri-art.com. Thanks again for listening.